Hello, this is Jennifer with Genty Designs, and I'm going to sew on a button to this coat. It's missing a button. First, I'm going to choose a thread that matches the color that was used for the other buttons. This one looks good. Then I'm going to find a replacement button. A lot of garments that have a lot of buttons are going to have buttons actually sewn on the inside of the garment, extra ones that you can use. So here I'm taking my thread ripper and getting it off. The top is difficult to get off, to cut the threads from the top because they have a lot of force. But I'm gonna flip it to the other side, and from the bottom it's actually a lot easier to cut those threads away because you have a better grip. It's more stable. I'm going to prepare my thread and needle. I'm using 2 threads instead of 1, so I doubled up the thread so it gives me more bang for my buck, more threads per stitch. Here I put on my knot at the end. Then I'm going to go in and start off from the outside of the garment. I like doing this because the button is going to hide that knot. Then I'm placing an object between the top of the fabric and the button. So it's going to lift up the button, and you can use any object that's convenient that's going to lift up that button off. And so it just sandwiches it between. And this is going to give you need space in between the button and the main fabric so that when you button it, there's room for the other side of your coat or the fabric to lay underneath the button. And if you look at the buttons on your coats and other things, you'll probably notice that separation. You can lift up the button a bit and it is separated to give room. And I'm just going to start, I'm going to go just up and down, up and down. It's going to create a cross shape. So first I'm making a T shape, and I'm making one side of the T. So there's 4 holes on this button. Some buttons have different numbers of holes. So based on how the other buttons are sewn, I'm following that pattern, the other buttons on this coat. So I did across 2, and then now I'm going across the other 2, and it makes a shape of a cross. It's going up and down and up and down multiple times. So it's going to be nice and strong. Now I'm bringing the needle and thread up through the top side of the garment, and I'm gonna wrap the thread around the button about 4 or 5 times. I normally don't do this, but I just looked at the other buttons and saw that they did that. So I figured I would just copy it. It must make it stronger. That's how I learn how I learn quite a few techniques, sewing techniques is just studying the garments that I work on and seeing how they did it and then just adding that to my skill set. Here I will finish it off with a knot. So I'm going to take these two threads and then just make a really simple knot and do that 2 or 3 times. It's really short, so it's kind of hard, but I get it done. Now the final step is putting some fray check on the knot. This the fray check, it's a liquid. It's a lot like super glue, so it'll harden up really fast when it hits the air. So it comes out of the liquid, I'll dab it onto the knot that I made and it will dry. It dries really stiff, so it helps the just really just set in the knot so that it doesn't come undone.